Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with another episode of Spirituality and Me. And this episode is all about manifesting your dreams. So understanding the processes of manifestation and understanding how we go about manifesting, what we want and desire in life, but also the natural or the psychological traps we hold within ourselves that stop us from being able to achieve the desired goal that we want in life. So I'm going to talk about it in terms of context of, being your ideal self. So manifesting who you dream of being in life and who you want to be in life. Finding the best relationship with your ideal partner, in terms of being able to manifest that person who you want in life, and then also looking at understanding it in context of being able to achieve goals, manifesting your ideal body, your ideal career, your ideal life, passion, whatever you want to do in life. It doesn't really matter. It's all exactly the same. The process to manifest your ideal partner is the exact same process to being your ideal self. Just like it's the exact same process to having your ideal body, just like it's the exact same process to having your ideal career, your ideal financial state. Like the key is when we understand manifestation is just directed actions. So manifestation is the outcome of directed actions. Does it sort of make sense? So it's not that we need to wish and want and all of this, but if we take it in context of manifesting our ideal person, if I want to be a better person and my ideal person is someone of a high ethical standard, then in my actions I must enforce a high ethical standard on my decision making and the actions and behaviors that I take. So it's very, very important to understand that manifestation is identifying the activities or the actions that we need to do, and then enforcing that I am that person and I take those actions. So for example, if I'm manifesting my ideal body and I want to have a six-pack, then I need to know what are the actions. Well, we need to build up the core muscles. We need to lower the fat if we want to have our muscles showing. The lower the fat percentage in the body, the higher the muscle, definition. So we need to understand this, but we need to understand what are the activities in terms of the actions day to day, and then I just become the person who does that. So I am no longer someone who goes to work out just for fun. I am someone who is going to work out to get a direct result, a six-pack. Okay? So if we think about it like that, it's just manifestation is the process of elimination of everything that is not what you dream of. So when we think about manifesting the ideal partner, okay, a lot of us, and I'm really bad for this, get to 85-95% there and basically, just throw it to the wind and say this is it, But an important thing to understand is that it is the internal psychological structure or our psychology, our limiting beliefs, our narratives and all of this that alter and affect, and our ego, that alter and affect our ability to manifest. So if we're trying to manifest the ideal partner, when we get suitors that are representative of the ideal partner, it becomes hard to, for me personally, like my insecurities show. And that's a funny thing, because our insecurities tend to hide themselves in rationality, in protection. So to understand this is just to understand whatever I want to manifest in my life, I have to accept every negative thing that could ever happen and just say, I want this more than I care about all these negative, attacks, pain, whatever it may be, insecurities. And we have to be able to walk toward the path towards the manifestation and allow everything that is not what I want in life to bounce off me. So should I walk that path to the manifestation and realize that the manifestation is wrong, I have to be willing to let that go and keep progressing forward with that goal in mind. But the other thing is I have to accept that, if I'm trying to, let's say get my ideal body, as soon as I try and work out, there are going to be people that are further along than me. I mightn't get results as quick as I want. I mightn't get the results that I want. And it's all these insecurities and these rationales that I create for why I can't have what I want, why I have to alter who I am, what I want. And that's the thing. So you think about it, we start off with this idea of the manifestation as being our holy grail. And then it's sort of like we start walking the path, but then we start lowering the standard of the Holy Grail, lowering what we're chasing until we find something that is suitable and comfortable, and we say, that is what I've always been chasing. So it's sort of like, for example, if we take it in context of, let's say we're an entrepreneur and we go out there and we start a business, and we have this idea of creating this business with this certain company culture, this business that, has this meaning to us. And then as we start walking the path and getting hit in the face, it's sort of like that vision starts to go less and less and less until it gets so low that it's a better choice for us to take a job, because at least there we'll have stable income. Do you sort of see how it's that rationale of the right thing to do, the thing that makes sense to protect me, when in truth, there is far greater to gain out of going all in on a business than there ever is to gain out of working for another. So, an important thing to understand is that we sort of have, we do the opposite of the rose-colored glasses, where we take something that is really, really desirable, that we really, really want, and we slowly over time make it look less desirable because of personal insecurities and fears and things like that. So, an important thing to understand is just that, even in our rashness, we are not in control. When I think that, I am being rational, that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm making the right moves in life, when I look back on my life, usually I'm going in the opposite direction to what I actually want, and I'm justifying my fears to myself and comforting myself. So understand that to manifest your dreams is to be fearlessly devoted to the outcome that you want and to reject anything that isn't that. So should I want to find love and find my ideal partner, well then, if I'm feeling insecure that I'm not good enough, that fear doesn't really hold true to anything. So, hey maybe. So an important thing to understand is that when that fear comes up in terms of, I have that personal insecurity that I'm not good enough, well then I have to see it for the illusion it is and not let the devil start, negotiating me down. Like I have to identify that part of me that wants to keep me small, that part of me that doesn't want to step out into the unknown. Because it's only through the process of stepping out into the unknown that we find our boundaries and our limits. So, for example, if we stay on relationships and love, okay, if I'm only ever willing to experience the relationships I've experienced so far, or the comfortable friendships, I will never truly know the variety and what is truly out there. I will only ever condition myself to one environment. So like, for example, if I'm trying to manifest love, but I'm only willing to do it within this environment, like, it will never feel right unless I'm in the right environment. Do you sort of understand? So like, no matter what happens, no matter how I manifest, it will always be wrong because my manifestation lies outside of that. So to think about this in context of career and, you know, business and things like that, if I'm only ever looking to manifest my success in my business in one product, in one offer, in one segment, you know, in one sector, I am limiting myself to only ever being able to achieve the manifestation that is in that environment. So for example, if I have a business and let's say I do sales and I have a sales agency and I only do sales for other people and contract out and win contracts, like, and I'm trying to manifest this amazing sales company that's revolutionary, I am missing everything because I'm not even attempting to sell my own. Like, I am limiting, like, my reality to be in a box or a square of comfort that, you know, and I convince myself that this is all that is. Like, I'm experiencing everything. And that's a funny thing, because when we understand this, that everyone is experiencing differently. Everyone sees and understands and perceives things differently. So the important thing is to understand that while my perception of reality, my understanding of the situation, my understanding of life may seem so ingrained to me and true, it's not actually like I'm only seeing a portion of the picture. So to be able to see the whole picture, we have to let go to the box. We have to let go to the square. We have to stop limiting ourselves to specific environments and open ourselves to all environments. So if I say I want love, well, then it's not that I'm looking for love in a specific person, but I'm looking for the person that holds the love that I want. Like, do you understand? So we get away from having these types, having these set, you know, types of people that we date, these comfort zones. So that's one of the funny things, is that, you know, especially in manifesting love, is that you have to be sort of fearless and willing to just be your authentic self and to be okay with what you want in life. In terms of, you know, if you say you want a specific you know, feeling, like, let's say, like, for example, for me, honesty and transparency are one of the highest things that I value in relationships. So it's like, if I say that I want that and I'm manifesting that, when I get into a relationship where that isn't the priority naturally, like, I have to, you know, create that priority in that situation as being the priority, you know, and have enough confidence to do that within myself, or I have to accept that that situation is not for me. So it's sort of like, it's this push and pull of understanding, you know, I have to sort of enforce or exude my will into the world, but I also have to take energy back from the world. So it's this exchange of, when we think of a relationship, okay, it's this energetic exchange of the push and the pull of giving yourself and receiving, giving yourself and receiving. And if the relationship is not in terms of that cohesion, it tends to negatively affect the dynamics of the relationship. So it's sort of like, if I say that I want my ideal relationship and my ideal partner, I have to be willing to, no matter what my emotions, no matter what my logic says, if I don't feel like the situation is where it is, well, first I have to communicate that and be open and honest and transparent, and in terms of, you know, like, I have to be confident within myself to crash and burn as myself, and not to limit who I am to be accepted. And that's a big fear that I have to work on, and I had to work on a lot. That it is far greater to crash and burn as yourself in a relationship than to, you know, try and make a relationship work where it's sort of like, you know, it's compromising who we are, you know, in terms of we're limiting ourselves and our experience to something that we don't want in life, to where, you know, and you see this a lot in toxic relationships, you know, where like one party just, you know, works and is miserable, and they just want to, when they're at home, drink and watch TV, and the other party wants to go out and do things. And it's sort of this sort of, you know, what do you do? So like, the first step is always, when we're manifesting our ideal partner, is we have to be confident in communicating our wants and desires, in speaking what we want into life. But we also have to be confident in understanding that, you know, to the right people it is right, to the wrong people it is not what they're looking for. And we have to be okay with that, without, you know, getting defensive and, like, you know, feeling less than. It's okay. Like, if we're trying to manifest our ideal partner, that 1 in 8 billion, like, it's okay that I crash and burn 1,000,000 times. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not looking for the 1 in 10, where if I crash and burn 1,000,000 times, I am some, like, you know, pathetic person who can't hold it together. So like, for example, if we're always settling in relationships and we're crashing and burning in relationships that we settle for, we are the problem. If we are striving to find one thing in this world, just one, if we crash and burn 1,000,000 times, if we crash and burn 1,000,000,000 times, it doesn't matter. We could crash and burn for our entire life and still not even have touched the level of action and effort it takes to find that one thing. So you just got to understand that, like, it's okay that it's difficult. It's okay that it's not always going to be right, in terms of, like, it's just trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Like, do you sort of understand? Like, we have to hold the mirror up to ourselves in terms of being honest with ourselves. So like, for example, you know, if we move to the scenario of our ideal body, if I'm manifesting my ideal body and I'm putting in the work, but I'm not really committed, you know what I mean? So I'm doing like 45-minute sessions at the gym, you know, 4 days a week. You know, I'm dieting like 5 days a week. Like, yeah, I'm taking the actions, but I'm not really putting in an effort. So like, that's the thing, is in manifesting, it's about that unrealistic aspect, to where it's like, if I say I want this, like, everything else is like, for me to pursue anything else is failure, in terms of like